Hi, this is Sweet June. I'm back again with another interesting video topic. I know I've been talking about a lot about um, the Section 8 cuts and, the government cuts that they're contemplating on doing or they're trying to do or whatever the situation is. Um, and it just amazes me, like I talked about in my other video, how black men are seem to be relishing in the fact that black women will be cut off Section 8. And I was making the point that black women are not the only ones on Section 8. Unfortunately, we're horribly stigmatized. It's like people act like black women can't get no help. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand why all the hatred against black women. I mean, I just don't get it. You know, we're human beings just like everybody else. It seems to be, oh, it's okay, everybody else is on it, but and unfortunately, a lot of our men are buying into the mentality that a lot of other people, they're buying into that same mentality that somehow we are not deserving of getting any kind of assistance, and think a lot of it is brainwashing. They're just brainwashed. Unfortunately, a lot of black men allow themselves to be brainwashed. But it's just, I just hate and can't stand all this hatred towards black women. I'm just over it, you know. Um, and the fact that black men are celebrating black women and children being losing their assistance, losing their housing assistance, is just appalling. Well, it speaks volumes about them as men. I mean, what race of men is happy to see their women and children suffer? You see white men making videos about, oh, they're happy about white women being kicked off of Section 8 and the children. Do you? I don't know. Let me know if you see some videos on here about white men being happy about white women getting kicked off of Section 8. I highly doubt it. So it's really, really sad because it really reflects bad on black men. To other races of men are looking at black men like, what? How are you happy to see your women and children suffer? And they don't even realize it. They too blind and ignorant to realize that all the other races of men are looking at them like, really? Not having any respect. Well, with that being said, um, I was looking at some other videos on here, um, and I was looking at comments and everything on other people's videos, and a lot of the sisters was bringing out some interesting points. One of the points being that there will be a lot of black men that will be affected by these Section 8 cuts. And you probably wonder, well, how is that? Well, it's because a lot of the black women that are on Section 8, now I don't know the percentages, but there are a lot of black women that are on Section 8, that how many of them have boyfriends living with them? Or maybe even husbands, because not all black women are single. They might have husbands in there on the program, or they might have boyfriends living in the home under their Section 8 roof. If they lose their Section 8, then their black boyfriend is going to lose their housing as well. And black men are not stopping to think about that. Unfortunately, I don't have any percentages on this, but the sisters that I was reading on some of the other videos and everything, they was bringing out that those are some interesting points that they was bringing out, that a lot of black men are going to stand to lose housing assistance as well. If they're living with these women that are on Section 8, then they're going to lose housing assistance as well. And a lot of the black men, while they're running around um, all happy and everything, that black women are going to be kicked off of Section 8, they're not stopping to think about that. There's a lot of black men that are going to lose housing as well if they're living with these women. There's a lot of black men that are benefiting from the women that are on the Section 8 because they're living with them. What is the unemployment rate for black males? Now, I don't know it right off the top of my head, but I'll be willing to bet that it's pretty high. And it's interesting how black men are just running around here celebrating the fact that black women be kicked off of Section 8 and all this stuff, but they're not stopping to think that they will be affected as well. A lot of them will be affected because they're living with the women, you know. And so it's just a lot of it is just based on a lot of ignorance. It's just based on so much ignorance. They're just being ignorant, and not really stopping to think about these things. I mean, what kind of man wants a woman to suffer, women and children to suffer anyway? It's like that has to say something about your manhood. You kind of have to question your manhood if you want to see women and children suffer. No real man wants to see a women and children suffer. There ain't that much bitterness in the world. And if it is, you need God to seek God or seek a therapist. It's just sick. It's just inhumane and it's ignorant and it's sick and it's like very cold hearted. I mean, there's just too many issues. But like I said, there's a lot of black men that are gonna lose. That was some interesting points that some of the sisters is bringing up that yeah, black men will stand to lose housing if they're living with these women on Section 8 public housing. They will be standing to lose their Section 8 benefits or the benefit of Section 8. So just think about that, guys. Next time you run around here hollering, oh, yeah, the black women be kicked off of Section 8. Think about that. Think about how many black men are going to be kicked off of it as well. Because there's a lot of black women that be carrying these black men out here. They're not stopping to think about that. While you calling us every name in the book and, calling black women every name in the book and all that, there's a lot of black women out here that have to carry black men, that have to provide a roof over black men's head. Because another thing, too, is that when they do cut these programs, they're going to come after the men for more to child support. They're going to enforce the child support enforcement. Child support enforcement will probably be enforced. So I wouldn't be so quick to jump up and celebrate. If you got kids, and particularly if you got kids by multiple women, they're gonna be probably pressing on you, coming after you more for child support when they're making all these cuts. That's the same government, silly. That's the same government, silly. The same government that runs child support is the same government that cuts, you know, makes the decisions for Section 8 and all that. It's all under the same umbrella. Yeah, so they're going to come after you guys and going to press you guys even more for child support to help take care of your kids that you have by these women that you're celebrating that will be kicked out of their home. So think about that. That's something to marinate on. But yeah, there's a lot of black men that stand to benefit from black women being on Section 8. And if the black women lose their Section 8, then the black men are going to lose, a lot of black men will lose housing. Very, very good point. So I just wanted to kind of drive that point closer to home. And like I said, I just think it's ridiculous how the black men are just, seem to relish in the fact that black women are getting and losing Section 8. And then there's so many other people. And I think it's cold hearted to even celebrate those cuts because there's a lot of elderly and disabled people that's on it as well. And a lot of black women that get Section 8 are working. A lot of black women that receive Section 8 are working. They're not just sitting around just collecting checks like you think that they are, you know. So I just wanted to make that point. Stay tuned for some other interesting video topics. This is Sweet June.